What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video. So I know I always make videos talking about like, working a 9 to 5 or like, making content, different things like that. And you guys always see me with my work shirt on. But I'm going to take you guys in behind the scenes of kind of what I do on the day-to-day as an Amazon driver. This is literally my truck. Today is actually a light day today. We don't have as many stops. I only got like 140, but 140, I'm in the country. So that could take like, so you see it's nothing but like trees and stuff. There's some houses over here too, but it's nothing but trees and stuff for real. So I got 140 stops. Even though it's 140, some days you can get 150, 160 all the way up. The most that I've gotten is 190, but it's like not in the Cindy 190, like in the country 190, which be some bull because when you start having multiple stops and multiple people do this multiple location, which just means it's like I'm doing this house, that house, that house, and that house, and that's all one location. So we're gonna kind of go behind the scenes. I'm finna get ready to unload some more totes in a minute, just so y'all can kind of see what it's like. All right, let's do it. All right, boom. So I'm about 20 stops in, a little bit more than 20 stops in. I'm finna unload some totes, and yeah, let's get into it. Gotta keep moving. That's really the main part of the job is you always gotta keep moving. And let's do it. Mm. All right, so like I said, I'm about 20 something stops in. So usually when you load your truck, you get totes. So totes, this is what got all the small boxes and then like the mail and stuff in it. You know what I mean? And usually your tote is kind of based on the area that you're in. Most times, I didn't have as many stops today. Like I said, I only got about 140, so I only had about 10 totes today. And then these are called overflow. These are like the big old boxes that you putting on your porch. They call overflow. So usually if you got like 140 something stops like I got, you might get 9 to 10 totes. And then even if you got 9 to 10 totes, you usually maybe have like 20 overflow because that's like the lightest. But if you got like multiple locations, that might now include like maybe 40 multi stops, which means now you technically got 170 extra doors. So even when people say they get like 200 stops, sometimes they 200 might be multi stops, which means now they might really have like 230, 220 extra stops. It can get kind of wild sometimes, but like I said, today is an easy day. I only got 140 stops. I'm not sure how many multi stops I have. I haven't looked at it. So yeah. 132. Four. And one thing I would say is you always want to put, if you ever think about doing Amazon, always put your totes in order, always put your mail in order or your packages in order, because then that makes it easier for you to grab it when it's time to grab it. So that way I'm kind of just throwing them in here, but I know where my numbers are. So you always want to just put them in order, right? Because that'll save you a lot of time instead of you getting to a stop and you trying to look for a package or you trying to look for a box and you can't find what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? So here's my box right here. And then my second package is right here that I got to carry. And then we're going to hit the next stop. All right, so we're about to take our first break. They got these things called like, heat advisory 10-minute warning. So I'm finna pull up to somewhere real quick so we can take our break. All right, bet. So we got to do like 10-minute breaks now, where it's like heat advisory because it's super hot. Like I'm in Florida and humidity is like 100 degrees outside. So while I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna hydrate real quick, and then I'm gonna just tell you some pros and cons about really being an Amazon driver for real. Because I see a lot of people making comments and stuff about it on the internet, and I understand. I don't really know nobody that works at Amazon. I could be wrong, but I don't really know nobody that works at Amazon because they absolutely love working at Amazon. A lot of people are here to like pay off debt, makes extra money, you know what I'm saying? And so I would say one of the pros about Amazon is that like you're gonna get paid. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might not get rich or nothing, but you're gonna get paid because they need drivers. As long as you can like drive and finish stuff in a decent time and be able to deliver packages, you're gonna make probably, I say, anywhere between like 150 and like 170 stops a day, 200 stops a day. It depends on your route though. So like for me, I'm mostly in the country, so I'm only gonna run maybe like between 100 and I say 40, 135 to maybe like 155, 160-ish stops on average. Like I might get a lull where it's like, okay, I gotta do like 170, but that's like outlier. Some days I think one day I've done like 180, 190, but if you like out in a rural area, that's at least for us, that's not usually something that we'll do because like you're not gonna finish that in the time. Like you're gonna have somebody to come help you, and then if you do get 170 stops, you're gonna have somebody to come help you. Usually for us, the higher number of stops, they're probably not all the time, but usually if they're a higher number, they're usually closer together and you can just do. But if you got like a lower number of stops, unless it's like a nursery route, which is for people who just start, nursery routes are just like, they're just small stops. You just don't have a lot of them. But if you got a smaller route number there, your stops are probably further apart. You know what I mean? So I would say, if you're a person who like, you just need to make money and need to make a job and have a job, Amazon, it ain't the most glamorous thing, but you'll make your money and your work because they always need people to work. They do. It's true. Now, what is a con? I mean, there's a lot of cons, honestly. I ain't gonna talk trash because I work, but first thing, my mic wasn't even on. Oh well. So the cons is, the first thing, man, is these roads, bro. Like your route, sometimes it do be some foolishness. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes they'll send you someplace and it's like they expect you to kind of do, I mean, depending on who you have, like sometimes people can expect you to do like crazy stuff. Like you got 180 stops, but you in the country and they want you to finish in like, you have maybe like 8.5 hour window to finish it. I think 9.5 with lunch or something like that. But it's 10 hours, but no, 8.5. But it's 10 hours, like it's a 10-hour block because you also got to travel there and back. But sometimes they want you to finish these stops in like, you know what I'm saying, 8.5 hours, but you got 200 stops. And it's like, you usually, the max you'll probably do in an hour is maybe like 25. So when you get like these 200 plus stops, they might want you to do 26, 27, 28 stops an hour. And that's ridiculous. Or if the weather's bad, which has happened a lot lately, you still got to run those routes. So like literally, especially when I'm out in the country, these roads turn to mud. And if you get stuck, you screwed, because especially if it's raining, it's going to take probably somebody an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to you. You know what I'm saying? I've been stuck a couple times in like, mud or like dirt. And, especially in these countries, roads, they don't really have regular roads. They got like dirt roads. And you wait an hour and a half for somebody to have to come get you and pull you out. You know what I'm saying? So that's a con. The heat is another con. I think the most difficult part about Amazon is not necessarily, it's the workload, but it's not necessarily the workload, it's the mental. Like, it's the mental that it takes on you. I think for me, working at Amazon, I've been here now maybe like 9 months, 10 months, something like that. The worst part is the mental, because it's not that you can't always do the route, but if you're tired and you're exhausted or you're hot and your head hurt, and then you look down and you realize, oh, shit, I still got 60 more stops, that can be like, discouraging, because it's like, they might send somebody to help you towards the end, but you kind of, wherever you are, you're kind of stuck there. You kind of isolated. You know what I'm saying? For the time being. Like, if you have an issue, like, it's going to be a while before somebody gets to you. So, you kind of got to be as smooth and efficient as possible. Sometimes you have customers that, you know, make big deals about things. I usually have pretty good customers, so I don't complain. But sometimes it just, things don't always go smooth. And it's like, say if you get momentum, and it's like, boom, I'm knocking these stops down. Boom, boom, boom. And then you got this one stop where you got to go all the way over here. Bro, it just, sometimes it blow your whole mood because it's like, bro, that just killed my momentum. And like, even though they'll factor in, like, you supposed to get this number of stops done in this hour, it don't work that way if it's like traffic, or like if the weather's bad, or if you get stuck, or if you having car troubles, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, or packages ain't right, or, you know what I'm saying, I'm missing some packages, or I got packages that's not on my route that's in here, like, or customers ain't answering their phone. Like, it's a whole bunch of different things that can go wrong, but they don't always factor that in. You know what I'm saying? They'll say, oh, well, you still need those is one-offs, like, and it's like, yeah, but them one-offs can really blow your mood. I think another con is it's just being tired. Like, one thing you need to do is you cannot, like, you need to hydrate, bro. You need to hydrate and you need to eat stuff. Like, I don't understand how some people, they'll do their whole route and they don't be eating nothing. I don't get that, because it's too hot not to eat nothing. I got 5 Gatorades in here. I got a jug of water. I got sandwiches. I got snacks, whatever I need to make sure that I'm hydrated. Because if your mind is fatigued, your body kind of follows. And that's one of the biggest things that I learned. Is like, I'll take like an energy shot or something. Electrolytes. You need water, but electrolytes is what you really need. If you don't got no electrolytes, you coming out here, bro, you gonna pass out or something, because it's too hot, weather too crazy, and you're doing too much moving around for that. But other than that, I would say, like I said, another pro is you're gonna get paid. You're gonna get your money. You get paid every 2 weeks. You know, the amount of work you put in is the amount of money you get out. But sometimes it don't be feeling like it. But if you're a person where you need a job, it's pretty much anybody can get a job at Amazon. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what their background requirements is, if you can get your P done, and I don't know, you know, as far as records, but, you know, it be young people here, it be old people here. Probably the oldest person right now, probably around me, is probably in their 40s, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's older people that work in the warehouse too, and it's younger people, like 18, 19, and we all in the same thing. I think another pro is that, you know, for the most part, bro, as long as you get your route done, they leave you alone. Like, they don't bother you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm listening to music. Sometimes I might have podcasts playing in the background. I'm in my own world for the most part. And people don't bother you unless they be like, okay, well, you behind today, or, you know what I'm saying, you messing up and you getting infractions, and you getting, which infractions is like, doing a rolling stop instead of a complete stop. Running a yellow light, you know what I'm saying? Speeding, going too fast, like going above the speed limit. Like, these are infractions, but as long as you're not getting no infractions and you're not doing too much, you know what I'm saying, you just doing your job and sticking to what it is, like, you'll be okay. I think another thing is that if you're a person that lack work ethic, like, you're going to learn how to have work ethic at Amazon, because you don't really have time to be like, you know what I'm saying, depending on your route. Like, it's a pretty chill day for me, so I probably can move a little slower. But at the beginning, when you first starting to get adjusted, like, you don't really have no time to be like bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to move with some kind of intention and move with some kind of pace, because it is cool when you get the first 20 stop, the first 30 stop, but then you stop 50, you stop 70, you stop 100, you had to stop 120, you had to stop 140, you had to stop 145, and you right there at the finish line, you trying to finish before it get dark. Like, that's when it get, like, your mind start getting drained. So always stay hydrated. Always have something to eat, have something to listen to, keep your mind busy, you know what I'm saying, so that way you can focus on what you need to do, and that'll make the route a lot easier, you know what I'm saying. And also, like, depending on what route you is, that also kind of determine what day you're gonna have. Like, I'm all for positive thinking and stuff like that, but if your route is some bull, you just like, oh man, like, you already kind of psyched yourself out before that. So but do them things, keep your mind right, keep hydrated, keep something on your stomach, keep your energy right, and you'll be good to go. So we're going to keep it going. Hey, you know what's crazy? A customer literally just came up to me. He said, man, you not hot out here in this Florida heat? I said, yes, bro. I'm always hot. Well, like, that's the name of the job. So this is what I'm telling y'all when I'm saying about, like, hydrating and stuff like that. Like, you really have to hydrate. You really have to make sure you're drinking electrolytes and not just water, because Literally, that's what's gonna keep you, you know what I'm saying, alive. You know what I mean? It gets really hot, but keep your AC on blast. If your station, they got vans and stuff without the AC, because they do be trying to play like that. And you gotta tell them, hey, we can't be out there without that, you know what I'm saying, without that AC, for real. Because this is not a joke. All right, so we are now down to the final countdown. We have 2 totes left and like 3 overflow boxes. So this has been the day. It is now 6 o'clock. I think I started working on this video like 12, so now it's 6 o'clock. So you're talking about 6 hours later. I still maybe got less than 30 stops left, so that'll probably take me about another hour and a half to do. So this is kind of like what the day in the life is as an Amazon driver. I hope this video has been good for you. If you like it, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more content like this, let me know in the comments. Till next time, peace.